Midland, Texas, 3802, Fair Circle, home of 10,000 felonies. Uh, if you've been following the story, a lot of you have seen me talk about this before, and it's one of the possible motives for murder. And asking the question if a landman attorney here in Midland named Matt Hyman got himself killed inside my house 2 weeks before the murder attempt on my life. And so I've written about that, but I've never made a video, and I've never really went through everything uh, and showed you what was going on that night. And really, to back up, you have to remember 14 months before that happened, before the murder attempt, was my first call to the police for a felony burglary. I noticed somebody in my house, not in my attic, not in tunnel, nothing. They were inside my home, and it was somebody broke into my home. It's a felony. They could go to prison for 10 years for that. Okay. And so, and then it continued on. And then my second call in January 2011, I heard somebody in the attic, and it's continued, and we're still going on. I was shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic. Well, one of the things that I, it very frustrating. This house is what home was rigged with hidden access, and then it's been used for this theft of services, because they're stealing heating, cooling, shelter, electricity, etc. from me. They're terrorizing me. They're threatening my life. They're spying on me. They're committing hundreds and thousands of felonies, and they do that because they have that secret police gang that helps them murder people. Okay, basically, that looks the other way while they commit all these crimes with video after video after video of proof that they're going on, and other people's statements of underground facility and all that. Well, anyways, and I'm sitting here and trying to. I just want to live in peace. That's all I wanted to do. I don't want crime committed against me. I want them to stop, go away, go mess with somebody else, whatever. But one of the ideas that I got was to get some tear gas. Okay, I found a product called Clear Out, and they're tear gas canisters. The canisters are small little canisters, and it's like the what you buy at the store, the Mace or whatever, and it's used to remove people from enclosed spaces. Well, that's exactly what I got. I got an enclosed space up there, and so I ordered some off the internet. And the first time I set it off, me and the ex-wife did. There was two attic doors in this house. She was on one attic door. I'm on the other attic door. And I yelled up there, "I'm fixing to tear gas the attic," because I don't want to hurt anybody. And we punched the button on the cans, and then it goes off kind of like bug spray, whatever. And you throw them up in there, And then we met in the backyard, and we're crying and coughing and gagging. And that was just from punching the button and throwing them in the attic. That's how that stuff. I mean, you really don't even want to be around, this stuff when it goes off, because that's what it does. It takes your breath away, okay, and you can't see, And so basically nothing happened, And I think I might have even accused her of notifying somebody that was, because I didn't trust her at that time, and I thought maybe she was connected with crimes, and I still believe that, and so well, I haven't had people tell me she's involved in a murder attempt, But either way, that was the first time we used tear gas, okay, and then another time I installed burglar alarms in my attic. Why would anybody do that? So I could prove to everybody this is going on, And literally, if you put some burglar system in your attic, it should never go off for 30 years, right? And I've had multiple different systems. Every single one of them gone off. Motion lights have gone off. People been here. It don't matter how much evidence it is. This is way, way, way past the level of, oh, you need evidence. It's just the level of absurdity on the amount of crimes that is going on here. And so another time, the burglar alarm set off a burglar alarm, and she was here, and I said, "I'm gonna set off the tear gas," and I set it off. I can hear them scrambling around, but it still didn't stop them. And so then I'm only married 3 months, okay, and we separated around December the 30th at the end of the year, right at New Year's 2011, going into 2012. I'm shot less than a month later, okay, and so as soon as she's gone, because she moves out, and then comes a couple weeks later, comes back, and we load her stuff up, and then she's gone. But was determined. I'm stopping these crimes. Once again, I just want to live crime free. I mean, that's it. I'm tired. I was sick and tired of it. I'm more sick and tired of it now that I'm 7 years going into this. And so I had a plan that I knew they were sleeping here, the people breaking into my home, and so I went to bed and I pretended to go to sleep and I waited until I thought maybe they were asleep. Okay, and then I jumped up and I ran to the other side of the house, which is the breaker box. I killed all the power on the house, and the reason I did that is because they're still in electricity from me. They're still in light from me. I wanted to put them in the dark. Okay, and now they're in an attic in the dark. And it's trying to steal my electricity. That took that away from them. And then I already had it set up. I had 3 cans of that tear gas through my house. I drilled little holes. They had tubes on them. I drilled holes through the ceiling and had the tube up there, and I had it ready to go. And so all I had to do was punch the button and come over here, punch the button. So then the tear gas was coming down from here, going up there through a little hole. Okay, and I could hear them scrambling around. It wasn't no little bitty bump, like I hear all the time, or them moving around, falling, dropping their gun stuff like normal, I mean, they are panicked. You can hear them, boom, 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 boom. They're trying to get out of there, you know what I mean? And it would be a terrible place to be. I'd hate to be in an attic with tear gas going off, and that's what happened that night. And so I knew I had them good, And then I went to work the next day, and I come in at lunchtime, and so I come in my front door, and I hear a person moving across the top of my ceiling, across the attic there, and they're coughing. Okay, and it didn't work because what I wanted them to do was leave. I'm not wanting to kill anybody. There's many people around. They're threatening my life. They've already shot me. And you have every right in the world to protect your life and protect your property in Texas. But I truly don't want to kill anybody. I want the crimes to stop. Arrest the criminals in this. And what I figured out at that time, it wasn't going to stop them. I got them good, that tear gas. And I knew at that time that if I went and I go, let me get 10 cans of tear gas, then nobody walks out. It's done. It's finished, But then, like I said, then we're going to have some dead criminals, and I wasn't wanting to kill anybody. So I figured out a long time ago, I don't have to shoot anybody, okay, to stop these crimes against me. Long time ago. I was worried about retribution, okay, because I had tear gas them in this attic, and of course at that time I'd have been reporting it to the police, to the Texas Rangers, to the FBI, to my family and friends and co-workers, and gathering evidence. I didn't have near the evidence I do now, but even back then I did. And so here was Saturday, and it's January 14th. Okay, and once again, she's gone, so I'm here by myself in my home, and I'm very concerned that there might be some retribution because I tear gas the attic. Okay, because they didn't move on to some other home and terrorize and steal from somebody else. These are relentless career criminals that are not ever going to be stopped until they're arrested. I'm telling you, I know that for a fact. Okay, and so here I am in my bedroom. This is my bedroom, and I hear the door here. And I don't know if you can see it, which doesn't really matter, but the spring inside the door, I hear ding, and what is happening is this door knob is turning like that. There's somebody on the other side over here turning this doorknob. I mean, it freaked me out. Boy, boom, I come over here and going to secure that door because they're coming to my room. And I was real concerned that they were going to kick the door in and then come at me and kill me, okay? Even at that time, I knew that the first day I looked at this home, I got a picture of the back door, okay? And it was fine. And then 28 days later, I'm at the home inspector here, and we found a hole where the back door was. Somebody had kicked in the door, okay, to brute force enter this house. And in that 28 days, Mike Lawhon, the previous homeowner, had died. So as far as I'm concerned, that these people, that probably the same ones on the other side of this door, kicked in his door and come after him, held him down, injected him with a lethal dose of the Darvocet or whatever it was, that drug, and overdosed him, okay? And then I believe they took him to Fort Worth based on the evidence, and of course that was murder, and had a neighbor as a witness that said he died here, and that whole story on Mike Lawhon. But anyway, what I was concerned is they're going to kick the door in, Okay, that was my concern. Is they're gonna come out there. These are killers. I fully believe that. I know that. I got shot 2 weeks after that fact. I happen to have an extension cord in the closet here. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and God, is taking care of me. I give Him all the praise and glory. The incredible idea. Here's the extension cord. I'm thinking, I'll build a safe room, okay? And because I'm worried about them kicking in this door. And so I'd get my knife, boy, and I strip the end of it off. I used to be an electrician. Boom, boom. I know the black one's the hot wire, right? And so I strip that black wire, boom. I've got copper wire right here. I take that copper wire and I wrap it around this doorknob right here, and I plug it in, okay? They're on the other side of the door. Can you look at there and see any electricity on that doorknob? No, you can't. No, you can't. And so all night I could hear them. They made lots of noise this night on December 14th, but nobody come in through that door. And so I truly believe that saved my life, And then the next week, that's when the ex comes over, and she had them divorce papers and had the return my life insurance booklets, and I always write on that. But as soon as she walks in, she says, "How you been sleeping?" She knew about this night. She knew I was up all night, them trying to get inside that door that night. And as far as I'm concerned. And so I said, like a baby, But anyways, that's what happened. So later, here 2 weeks later, I get shot. There's no doubt. You look at the evidence, it's premeditated murder. They cut my phone lines. They shot me from inches away, directly at an artery. Listened to me scream for help, waiting for me to die. My life insurance booklets were taken. This was premeditated murder, okay? But after I get to the hospital and all that, I remember back to that night 2 weeks before. And I'm thinking, I wonder if anybody grabbed a doorknob. Because if somebody is on the other side and they grab that doorknob, right, they did, right? And you know what it'd do? It'd stop your heart. Because that's what electricity does. It'd stop your heart. Okay, so I'm looking through the obituaries, and I find a guy named Matt Hyman, okay? And it tells me there in his obituary, he used to be a landman, and then he was an attorney. And that was interesting, because landmans are some of my top suspects. They're who I suspect to be involved with oil show parties. And I think the oil show parties have been going on in this underground facility, right? That they were involved in the murder of that young girl and all that stuff, okay? And then he's now attorney. And I remember my attorney telling me when I went to see her, she says, there's not a lawyer in this town that's going to help you. What? I'm like the ultimate victim here. I'm the guy that comes to town, volunteers to lead the United Way drive. These criminals come to my home, attacked me, shot me, tried to cut my leg off. These are evil killers are what they are. And I believe they've got a whole list of people they killed, and nobody's going to help me, no attorney. What if it was because an attorney got killed? So Matt Hyman's 33 years old, and I post out there on the internet, this I did. Did Matt Hyman get killed in my home? Okay. And, if you think that out, there was more people here. I could tell more than one person, him and his friends or somebody and their friends. If their friend on the other side of the door, grab that doorknob, boom, 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 and they die, you can't call the cops because you're breaking the home to murder somebody. You know what I mean? You go to prison. If you were his friend standing right there and he dies inside a private home trying to murder the homeowner, you're going to be charged with murder for your friend's death because you're with him. Okay? I mean that's how it works. So they can't say that, right? That'd be obvious. So they're going to have to come up with some other reason, some other excuse to explain why this 33-year-old man, that landman attorney died, right? And so here I get on Facebook, I post this question. I have the right to ask questions. Somebody tried to kill me, I didn't make a statement. I don't know that. I have the right to ask questions. Did he die in this house, right? His sister-in-law, former sister-in-law, was my nurse, okay? And she's on my Facebook friends list. And she goes, well, that's my brother-in-law, whatever, And so I'm thinking, well, I'm going to ask her some questions and I can eliminate him because I didn't know, So one of my questions was, how did he die? Because if he died of a car accident, it wasn't him. Okay, and done deal. We know it wasn't him. If he died of cancer, wasn't him, right? No, it wasn't him. So what did he die of? Oh, heart failure. Nobody knew he had it. Heart stopped. 33 years old. Heart stopped. Yeah. Well, that's what happened if you get electrocuted, heart stop. And then I'm thinking, what time did he die? If he died in the morning, then it wasn't him, because this was an afternoon, evening, okay? And once again, oh no, it was that evening. He was just home by himself with his wife, and he died, and so they're the only witness you got. So whatsoever, that didn't eliminate that whatever. To me, it did, And I mean, it just more confirmed the possibility for sure. And so I posted on there, and then a couple of his friends, this guy named Brian Hillman and Chris Mertz, threatened me, okay? And I used to work with Chris Mertz. He was the landman for my company, okay? And another thing, Chris Mertz is calling me crazy. Well, that's, 11 secret police sneaking in your home stealing evidence is crazy, but it's sure clear that I'm not, I mean, that we can pretty much be sure of that at that point, because that doesn't happen, They didn't accidentally forget to put their name down. There was 11 of them. They sneaked into my home, stole evidence that I told them about. That's what happened. And so there's a red flag already on Chris Mertz, And then Brian Hillman threatens to sue me, and he contacted me on private message. It was very, very rude, and ended up getting blocked on that. So anyway, I'm gonna show you stuff on the computer here to back this up. Okay, what I'm showing here is the clear out, and it's got the tube on it, the canisters I was telling you about. And when I went into court on December 18, 2013, you got to remember that ex-wife filed a protective order on me 18 months after the murder attempt, and I hadn't seen or talked to her in a year and a half, and she lived 100 miles away, and I'd only sent 2 emails, and I get a protective order, but really it was a mockery of justice as far as I'm concerned. The key witness was Secret Police Rosa Rodriguez. They both testified that I was delusional, and that fulfilled the extortion threat that I had recorded on camera. As if y'all remember that, where she threatened to tell everybody I was crazy if I didn't pay that $1,200 to $1,800 a month. That happened 4 months before the murder attempt. Anyway, so this is transcript of it, and I'm asked in court, do you ever have any big cans of tear gas? So we have to talk about it. And then it was brought up in the court because what they're trying to do is show, oh, he's crazy, right? He thinks people breaking into his home, right? And people are breaking into my home, with lots and lots and lots of evidence. And so that's what it looks like. And like I said, you don't need guns, okay? Here's the obituary for Matthew Don Hyman, 33, Midland. I ain't saying he was here in my house trying to kill me. I ain't saying he died in my house. I was asking the question, did he? Okay, what I found out, he was a petroleum landman with Choate or Choate or whatever. And after passing the bar exam, he went to work for Cotton, Bledsoe, Tye, and Dawson as an attorney in the oil and gas section. That's the city's a personal law firm, is who that is Cotton, Bledsoe, Tye, and Dawson. And then as I said, he died of an unknown heart failure. This is a screenshot of the communications with his former sister-in-law, Natalie Sherry Hyman here. He died from a genetic heart defect that no one knew he had, that was interesting. I said, was he messing with electricity that day? I said, it only takes 100 milliamps to stop the heart, right? Oh, no, he wouldn't, And so, et cetera, et cetera. I said, do you remember the time of death? I don't. It was at night. Okay, so once again, that was just more confirm that theory, And then so I asked this question on Facebook, and as I said, I have the right to ask questions since, I survived a murder attempt. Okay, so this Brian Hillman guy, who I think's a landman, ain't that interesting? Okay, you're barking up the wrong true. He sent me a private message, and here this Maria, she's like, are they always threatening you like this, buddy? Because she can read it. Outside people can read what's saying. And then here's Chris Mertz over here, and I worked with you from the day you were shot. And he basically threatens here, as far as I'm concerned, it was a subtle threat to beat me up, a crippled guy, and so I would be asking Brian Hillman and Chris Mertz what they know about a capital attempted murder and finding out where they were on January 28, 2012, where they were during the 2010 oil show parties in the evenings, okay? And, then Hillman, he posted, he private messages me, He says, Matt Hyman's not your guy. This is my wife's late husband. So he married the widow, okay? and I assure you nothing happened. I suggest you taking this down before I pursue legal action. And so I have to ask him before I ask a question, is what he's telling me. That he's the person that you need to talk to before you ask a question on Facebook, or he's going to sue you. That's how absurd and ridiculous that is. Okay. And so it goes on, and I'm being kind and nice and going, hey, they murdered this girl at the oil show. Do you know anything about that? And I'm not interested in your rhetoric bullshit. I'm interested in you taking this stuff down. This guy's exceptionally rude, right? And I'm just telling him, what's going on here. Here I'm a survivor of a capital attempted murder. And then I ask him, where were you at on January 28, 2012? I don't know. So there's that one, okay? And then, as I was saying, the reason I put electricity on the doorknob is because when I first looked at this home on October 1st, 2008 with my realtor, Janine Pruitt, that's her, this door, I took a picture and I happened to get a picture of the door and it's fine. But here with the home inspector on October 28, 2008, right here, we found a hole there in the door. Basically, the doorknob was gone. Somebody kicked the door in. And in that time, on the 12th, Mike Lawhon died. And interesting, the oil show, 2008 oil show, started the week after that Mike Lawhon dies, And we've seen that before I'm going to show you right here. This is the previous homeowner. The death certificate shows him dying at his mom's house in Fort Worth, okay, of acute proxifene intoxication, what his Darva said, I think, okay. And then the Odessa American posted a death notice on the 14th. He died on the 12th, saying he died in Fort Worth. And then they changed it. That's not, somebody has to physically do that, and reposted on the 18th and said he died at his residence. So here you're looking, you're going, why would they make that change there? And I think the answer is the neighbor lived directly across the street told me twice that Mike died in this house. And one time she said, I should know, right? And I think that's the reason they changed it, because there was witnesses and people knew Mike died in this house, And I think maybe it happened when they kicked that door in, and that's why I put electricity on my doorknob and trying to build a safe room. And then I ran across this in an email today because I was looking at on my earlier story about internal affairs, Craig Matthews, and I was going through my emails, and I run across this email to myself back in Christmas 2012. And I say, on another tidbit, while in the emergency room, Rosa Rodriguez, that's the detective and secret police, asked me if I had electricity on the tie wires that I used to secure the cabinet doors. I found this to be an unusual question unless she happened to know about the home invasion attempt occurring a few weeks prior, which was January 14th, of which I had put electricity on my doorknob to my room after I noticed that somebody was trying to come into my room. And that was the day that Matt Hyman died, on the same exact day. And so the question's still out there. So there's one of possible motives for murder besides, multiple people telling me there's an underground facility and then my life insurance booklet's been taken. This Buddy Way of Midland, Texas, y'all share this.